Hello, this is Gerald van Was. These series of videos are meant to understand better the positions of letters in words, how meaningful they are actually, and how we can recognize the meaningfulness. The basis of it is a system of order, of a logical order into 1, 2, 3 positions, times 3 times 3, which within one focus, two focuses, or three focuses. The one focuses are about spatial references. The two focuses, where you need two focuses, are about timings, and the three focuses are about context-based actually references. I'm not going to go too deep in that, but actually basically you can use these starting points, or also very literally, and use them as references to understand what's going on and why this reference point is used in a word. They are not deliberate, they are just logical as we use other elements of reference in space or in time, and this is just the same way. So the first 9 letters are always about starting points. That's like saying, okay, I have here an object, let's have that object, let's describe that object, this is what I have. The second category, which I also separate so to have it very clearly, is about, what can I do with it and how shall I proceed and in which direction does it go, in timing of course. And the concluding focuses, which are on top, are also the general focuses for all people, from all different angles, from all different situations, in all kinds of different spaces or timings. These are possible, but we can follow it. They can be defined. They have certain features that can be applied anywhere. That's actually the basis of the full theory. And of course, your elements in space are the ones that you pick out. The elements in timing are the ones that you follow up, and the other ones, they actually describe the restrictions that we have from all different sites in space or time. We will compare here a German and a Dutch word, which have only one letter difference, but which mean something different. The German word is KRACH, which means, in English it will mean conflict. It's a conflict between people. And KRACHT is actually something else. It's more like power, or maybe empowerment. It's an inner power, it's a strength. You can have it as well. So let's have the idea explained, how just one letter can canalize the whole thing into a different direction. And here are the positions of the letters into the system where they are. You have all the letters that I have written down. What you see is there's nothing from the second category, so the timing. That means that there will be nothing involved of that will change over time, that you'll have to adapt all the time. No, it is more a factual thing, because most of the letters are about that. And the other one is, but you need context and the adaptation is into a contextual frame, not in a direct frame, which is a bit strange at first, but because I would say conflict is about a relationship between two people and we have to adapt. Now it's not about that adaptation. We're not going to adapt to the other in conflicts. No, we're not going to do that. This is a situation which we see as a fact, that it's always there, and we will not adapt. So in fact, I understand, and also, okay, strange, but it's not there. The timing process, the planning process is not there. So this action, which you normally have in the second category, or the action that is expected actually in conflict or in power, which I think, okay, shouldn't we need that? Is not seen. It's only starting point and the interaction, the direct interaction of the last category. So let's see how it builds up. So there's no initiating action and no comparing situations. So it will be very direct about a thing that I will name, and the effect and the immediate interaction that will be there in all times and places where we can recognize that. So that will mean that we will have an direct interaction as well, compared to the facts that we name, that we take, the positions that we take in a situation, in naming something. So, what do we have as letters in the first category? So we have the A, the T, and the K. And the A is, we can always compare these to the two positions as well, even if we're not going to define actually how we behave ourselves towards each other into adapting towards each other. We're not going to do that. Conflict is not an adaptation, and power is also some, and the empowerment and the craftsmanship, or whatever translation that you get from that word, will also not be about a direct adaptation to somewhere else. It will be a strengthening of what we want also in that case. The A parts, the ATK, are actually the three sorts of starting points that we can have as pure starting points. The A follows my vision. The T follows what is there, really the facts themselves. And K is more a little bit about your vision. So these three letters are there, so they are the facts, my opinion, your reality, and that's how we're going to phase them to each other, with the letter C there as well, which is the meaningfulness of this letter, and the position is about the 1 to 3 position. Is the comparable position, is comparing actually at the edge. What can we use as a starting point? Basically, it's saying, what can we grasp that we can use as a starting point? These 4 letters are in it as well. What we also will always have in every letter, in every word, is that yin and yang balance between all these letters. Here we know already it will be between these two categories. It will be about my starting point, what I'm going to push forward, and the result that I will get from the whole thing in the end. So that will be the description, which still fits to both words. The H and the R are in the positions of the system there, so it's there we will face the facts. The H will be about what will be continuous, and in which space will this be continuous, the full thing, in which space will be described the full thing of continuations. And R will be about how can we connect to the things so that we will have a continuation of like a continuation of energy, a continuation of an event, of a definition. That kind of thing is associated with R. But we start from K, so it will be between K and some ending. So the first, which we'll come to later, the K is the first letter. So the K is actually the part where we will see that it is not about my vision, because there is a difference. You have 3 sorts of starting points. I'll repeat myself: my vision, the facts, and your vision, basically. So we're going to look upon someone else's vision, or where the things are different. It's not what we expect, it's different. That's the starting point. Is the K is always a little bit of a conflicting situation, or a question mark. It could be as well something that we do not know, something that is different from us, that we still have to solve actually. The R after the K will connect itself. So of course it will connect to the results, but that we'll see later where the results will be. And of course we will have a little bit of helping tool, because we have so I will add another figure, the same structure. I will repeat it a little bit just because that will help me to see, okay, but where we will go to. The K, the R, so the R is always, I connect to the continuation. I have to connect back as well to what I do, so I have to have that in 2 directions. And I will come to that as well. The A will, of course, be further away as well, because I have the K first, then the R, and then the A. So I'll put it again at the same position. Here the A is the starting point, not of my vision, but of your vision. So I'm going to see actually from K what is different from my vision, and then I look and I connect to actually someone else's vision. So I will see what is different. So until there, it's not a conflict yet. The only conflict is I don't know. It is different. It gives an unease. But I'm going to look to. So, but yeah, what is then different? How do I connect to that difference? The C is already what I told you. It's about what can I grasp from it. So K, R. So I don't know. I will connect to what is different, and I'll see what I can use from it. But actually the C is already about, I'm talking about already with K, with this A after K, with this R after the connection. The C will also be about, what will the other be able to grasp. So that's already the contradictory situation. I'm going to look also what the other person is grasping actually. What is grasping actually? A bit more factual. I'm going to investigate. I'm going to see what is there. The H is about how does this continue? How does it is this in a continuous situation? That's the H, and I connect to that. With the T, I will also find a solution in a little bit like, yes, I have a position. Now let's make this a little bit better. So I have already a basic view from where I'm going to. I have a basic elements, but I'm going to explain the positions also a little bit better. But first, of course, what we already see is we start from our vision. So from the yin and yang then here in this system is I start from my vision, from my personal view. Look into what is different from the other, what is that something that I don't grasp, or I don't, maybe even don't agree to, so that can all be so, but I connect to it and see what is grasped at the other person, and see what is the end effect of it again towards me. With a T I can bundle it into a certain position, and I can use it to my benefit. Which also is known, of course, that the KRACHT with a T is about an empowerment again. So then it's becoming something positive again. So let's have that a little bit more clear from letter to letter, because it's not just about positions, but it's also positions of viewpoint against a background drop of orientation. The background drop is, I repeat myself, global orientation in space, in time, or in the context where you can find the definition. So the A, T, and K were about a focus upon a thing, the facts around one center. And that's how we're going to explain A, T, and K a little bit better, how it is explained also meaningfully. So we have this center point of vision, and the position where we start from. The A start from my choice, my pick. So it's almost like the arm goes down and I pick out something, but it's picking out against the backdrop of a general focus of the thing. So I'm going to have it always not just about my pick, but it's also the pick about against what the thing really is. The T is going towards the middle point, that it's going to focus upon the thing. With the vertical, A with the horizontal, it continues the horizontal. So if you need to follow it up in a different order of letters, we just add the A again and again into repetition, as if it's a rhythm on its own, always on the horizontal plane with the A, and the T on the vertical plane. So it can be vertical, anywhere vertical. I can move up as well if possible. I'm going towards the middle point of the object itself, where the things will happen, where it really is. A stays in the basis, my basis. This basis is always compared everywhere. K then, it goes from the middle point, what the thing is, towards the thing, which is clearly somewhere else, at the further away from us, So that's why the position is quite clear. And actually it's going to look upon what has a different vision. This different vision maybe has a different angle. So I'm going to find out where this angle is, and that's what that breaking point is. Also in numerology, A is less than 1. I'm going to discover what is 1 or the object. T is 1 or the object, middle point. K is already a little bit larger than 1, or no longer a middle point. So I'm going to see what is the difference, and I'm going to check the angle actually of differences. That's basically what the K is, very well explained in its position and in its meaningfulness. It's always that kind of meaningfulness. So what do we do then with KRACHT and KRACHT? K is the first letter. So what we already have described better in this case is K focuses first, from my vision onwards, always it's like that. I'm going to look into what it has a different vision. I'm going to focus towards a different vision. Connect to the continuation of something, and I mean the full word. I'm going to connect to a continuation of that, continuation of what has a different vision in a certain way. And after the R you have the A, so I'm going to compare it also, like how does this have a continuation of a basis, and also how is it against my own basis, how do I see this in its continuation compared to my own ability to understand it, dealing with it. I'm going to see what it is in its continuation in A. Next letter is C. The C actually is already, you see, I have to have the right orders, K, R, A, then the C, it's already, like I said, it's already having a comparison to how the other sees it, but I'm still going to see it how I see it as well. Right? So how can I distinguish it? What I can use or what I cannot use? And the is actually, the C connects to H. H is about the full range of continuations of whole this situation. The is a combination of C and H. So what can I distinct in all the continuations of this connecting and so on is a whole range of possibilities. The is a sound of almost chaotic vibrations that mixes itself up so that you get a kind of noise feeling with. So all the possibilities, try to distinct what is there, and connect to it with the R, of course. With KRACH, you connect to all the directions that you connect with, in all the possibilities and so on that are there. But when you stop with KRACH, you have to connect to and from me and from the other position towards that same position. That's what it basically has, that has a description of a situation. I'm trying to distinct my vision, your grasp, my grasp, and the whole range of continuation of what is actually conflicting there. Like in K, I don't know what it is. It is a conflicting situation. I'm not going to solve it. I'm just describing it. What is there? KRACH really is going to have a chaotic situation of all the connections that I make between what I think, what you think, how do you grasp it, and so on. That's the KRACH. So what's then the difference with KRACHT, with a T? It will find almost like a solution. Because T is a real starting point. So when K was my starting point, one of the first three sorts of starting points, A, T, or K, K was that conflictual situation that I'm going to look upon. T is no longer conflictual. It is really saying I find a practical point as reference, as an ending, as a conclusion. So while K was a conflicting start, T is a solving starting point, and I bundle all my focuses into a practical point of reference to start from. So we also have all the contradictory powers actually that come together, and conflicting powers. When I bundle it, I can do something in it, and that situation becomes an empowerment, and that's what just one letter alone can do in words. Still believe it or not, if letters are having a meaningful place, that's still up to you to be open to that or not, but the theory about it is meant to make that visible, to make that understandable. It's not completely a method which you still have some interpretation of, okay, what's the practical thing to do so, but the positions are correct, the meaningful positions are correct, and from there you can also already do a lot with that. And the way how I design it, okay, that can still have some variations and so on, but I hope I could show you already the basis of how you can understand actually words based solely upon the letters and the letter combinations. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks again for watching. Bye.